once again, just barely made it. Just barely. Alright, 1 second here. Chippy, chippy, choppa, choppa. God, I remember when that was like everywhere. Also, hey look, rare moment when Sylv gets here first. Booby booby da. Okay. Fuck off, I've gotten here first a lot lately. I forgot. No, truthfully, I forget, honestly. Perchance. Don't expect me to keep myself on topic. Really, I have to clarify, this is not an insult. Really, I don't expect either of you to really stay on topic, but that's okay. It's boring. Sorry for having interests. Anyway, also boring. I'd hate to sound like that type, but I have to go there. Actually, boring would be the corporate era Discord, okay? Quickest we have ever said Discord on. You are forgiven, okay? You can't just say per chance. I'll play that in a minute. I'll play that in a minute. I'm not going to play it yet. It's for Christian bit. Again, that would be the corporate era. I haven't hit the corporate era yet. You'll find out momentarily, and then you'll forget. Anyway, welcome to Wonder After Dark, and welcome to the 50th episode. Yes, of all things I could be talking about for episode fucking 50. Religious vegetables. Or rather, we're not here to talk religious vegetables directly. We're here to talk the decrease in quality in Christian vegetables. iCarly's 50th episode, spectacular. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, so we're not going to talk about veggietales itself. Like, I'm not like reviewing a bunch of episodes, if that's what you're wondering. No, instead, but yeah, just because I was baptized doesn't make me Christian. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I also don't recall you ever mentioning that you've been baptized before. My grandma still insists I want to be baptized. I love this this going on here. My grandma insists I am baptized, followed by I want to be baptized. I have many sins. I have been, unfortunately. I mean, I'm not someone who, I wish I wasn't. Okay, I'm not someone who's like gonna force religious beliefs onto everyone, so do not interpret this the wrong way. I don't want God's piss on me. Okay, well, I'm still gonna say it anyway. I'm not one to push religious beliefs on everyone like propaganda or even propaganda, so do not interpret. I want the holy golden shower. I love gold. Gold member. Anyway. That's... Go. Okay. Anyway, let's get back on track. We're not here to talk... Read, I just read. Oh, wait. Okay, number 1. Dig for gold, pick your nose. I just did. Did you know there's a Greek god that was born from 3 powerful gods P? No, I did not know that, and I kind of wish I didn't know that. Anyway, we're not here to talk the P god, yeah. Alright, so what are we doing for the 5th, the P, aka, yeah. So I guess I'm the cum god. Anyway, we're not here to talk... Also, yes, I am aware that this is kind of a waste of a 50th episode milestone. A big waste. No, Geo is the cum god. Oh my god. Actually, though, I can confirm that. I know that seems a little TMI, but I can confirm that. God. Anyway... Lord forgive... Well, it seems fitting that the episode about a Christian video series is the most sacrilegious and unholy. Your mom is the bum god, your dad... Okay, yeah, let's chill out a peg. Being funny is very much allowed, but let's chill out a peg. And let's also get back on topic. Zooey mama. I'm not flashing the nips yet. Anyway... Seriously, I don't want to get distracted a lot, but... Discord, okay. Oh, we have an article about the piss god. He was perhaps the son of 3 gods, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hermes, who all Uncle Ben, what happened? Golden shower. Who all... Okay, he was perhaps... Speaking of golden shower... He was perhaps the son of 3 gods, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hermes, who all urinated on cow skin and buried it beneath the earth, after which Orion was born from it. Alternatively, he was the son of the Cretan princess Eulalie and the sea god Poseidon. What did I just read? Okay, please let's get back on track, because, oh my god, I feel like I just committed 7 new sins that haven't been invented yet. Also, raindrops are falling on my head. That's I don't even know. Great song. Okay, I guess that's a song. I didn't know that. Anyway, let's get back on track, because it feels like I've committed 7 new deadly sins that have not been invented yet. Yeah, it was in Spider-Man 2. Okay, never mind. I'm just stupid. Anyway... Now, how do you not know? I just said I'm stupid. I've seen Spider-Man 2, I just forgot. Anyway, let's get back on track. Thought it was... yeah, actually. Jesse hasn't seen... I have seen Spider-Man 2. Am I really about to fight with my audience tonight? Okay, anyway, let's please get back on track. We're 9 minutes in. Okay. It was right after Peaser. Yeah, I'm tired. Well, it seems fitting that the 50th episode of Wonder After Dark spirals out of control. Anyway, 9 minutes in and I haven't even gotten to the topic. That's fun. And yes, I am aware that... Yeah. And I am aware that this is Wonder After Black. And I am aware this is kind of a waste of a 50th episode slot, but oh well. Alright. I'm not reviewing the show itself. Even though... Tapende. Okay. I'm not reviewing the show itself. Even though there is a lot to talk about. I specifically, tonight, want to talk the rise and downfall, because I feel that's a very, it's pronounced tapenade. Now I know. Anyway. Okay, remember from iCarly? Now I do. I have seen iCarly. I swear to God, let's stop making me look stupid tonight. Anyway. I specifically want to talk the rise and fall of the franchise, because I feel that's a very interesting topic. Albeit it's not exactly a new topic, as many YouTubers have covered it before me, but I guess it would be nice to hear my input. It rose to heaven and went to hell. How did you hit the nail on the head so accurately? Anyway. So, Big Idea Productions, LLC, the pirates who don't do anything, but hey, look, there's something, you know. Anyway. Big Idea Productions, LLC, formerly known as Big Idea Productions Incorporated, Big Idea Incorporated, and Big Idea Entertainment, LLC, also known simply as Big Idea. Never seen it, but know the title. That's at least a point of credit. Anyway, was an American animation production company and is currently an in-name only unit of DreamWorks Animation. Big Idea was best known for its animated Veggietales series of Christian children's videos. Veggietales never aired here as far as I know, so this is a first. Or not really a first, but this is one of those episodes where two of the participants know something and one of them knows nothing. America is shit. I can't even argue, it really is. The education and legal systems are absolutely a joke. Okay, but what is Veggietales? Well, Veggietales is an American Christian CGI animated series and franchise. Canada has free healthcare, unfortunately. Anyway. Created by Phil Vischer and Mike Niraki under Big Idea Entertainment. So what's the premise of Veggietales? The series stars Bob the Tomato and Larry the Cucumber. To Dragoneer, the founder of Fur Affinity, I didn't know that he or she passed away. That's real unfortunate, rest in peace. Anyway, Veggietales, the premise, the series revolves around and stars Bob the Tomato and Larry the Cucumber, voiced by Phil and Mike respectively. The series revolves around them leading a variety of fruit and vegetable characters as they... Larry has a cucumber. You mean he is a cucumber? Anyway. I should just know that I'm never going to win. But anyway. The series revolves around Bob and Larry leading a group of fruit and vegetable characters as they retell both stories from the Bible. He's a boy, so he has a cucumber. Well, you're not wrong. Anyway, as they retell stories from the Bible, as well as a few movie parodies and parody pop culture, while also teaching life lessons according to a biblical worldview. Is this for real? Wait, what? What happened? Is there something I missed? I see he's a boy, so he has a key. Did it delete it on your end, or am I missing something? Did I say something, or... Anyway. Now, the series' first video, released on December 21st, 1993, and it has been, well, ran for... I'll get to that later. Anyway. Veggietales has launched quite the media franchise. It has 2 feature films, Jonah, a Veggietales movie, released in 2002. So hypothetically, if they did a parody of Scream, they could connect. No. They've never dipped into horror territory. The closest they've gotten is Dr. Jiggle and Mr. Sly, which was a parody of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Other than that, they've never touched any horror movies. So you're shit out of luck. That's a horror movie. Well, when I say horror, I mean you know, ashy slashy, stab stab. I said hypothetically, no. Because how can you connect Scream to the Bible? You can't. Anyway, let's not evangelize into discussion. Foreshadowing. Anyway. And VeggieTales itself, if they altered the plot to, if they did that, then yes. With that bit of clarification, then yes, they could. Anyway. I was about to Mick fucking lose it. Not snap and get angry, but just scream into a pillow. Anyway. Okay. I can only imagine. Anyway. The series ran... Alright. It's had quite a few series. The original direct-to-video series ran from 1993 to 2015. A spin-off titled Larry Boy: The Cartoon Adventures ran from 2002 to 2003 for just 4 episodes. Repackaged versions of the videos aired on TV under the title VeggieTales on TV. It's like JJ the Jet Plane dub, where it shoehorns, I learned this, just like God did this. Except difference is, classic VeggieTales was actually good. Anyway, and I would prefer you let me finish before you argue about actually good. Anyway, there was a Netflix adaptation, which was universally hated, titled VeggieTales in the House. I remember absolutely harassing the shit out of Geo with some VeggieTales in the House. VeggieTales in the House was then followed up, VeggieTales Pokemon parody. That's another thing they surprisingly never touched. Anyway, VeggieTales in the House was then followed up by another Netflix series titled In the City. And finally, that was followed up with the TBN and Yippee series, The VeggieTales Show, which to date is Christian Parents Hate Pokemon. Yep, that's true, unfortunately. Anyway, but VeggieTales did parody Lord of the Rings, which Christian parents also hate. Yeah, don't ask. Anyway. Alright, so why... Alright, again, I specifically want to talk the rise, all it takes is one onion ring. They did not go that corny. They did not go that corny. In fact, they actually followed the plot of Lord of the Rings quite close. Obviously watered down, but quite close. Anyway. I mean, obviously they skip over some of the more violent scenes, but they still follow the plot pretty closely. Anyway, back on track. As I said, I specifically want to talk the rise and fall. So, it was one of the earliest computer animated franchise. There was a Hello Kitty show where they did movie and book parodies. And I am not sinking my time into that. No, Hello Kitty is not a trigger, before you ask. I just have better things to do than sink my time into Hello Kitty's thrilling retelling of Shakespeare in Love. Anyway, I say as the person who sank 3 hours of their life into The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Hello Kitty retold Jaws. Why wouldn't they? Anyway, let's get back on track. VeggieTales was one of the earliest computer-animated franchises, predating Toy Story by, get this, 2 whole years. 1993 was when the first video released. So, yeah. Kind of beat Toy Story to the punch. Anyway, first released on VHS in 1993 as a direct-to-video series, VeggieTales was the original Toy Story. I wouldn't call it original Toy Story, but sure. Let's go with that. Anyway, released in 1993, Tin Toy, well yeah, that exists. Anyway, first released in 1993 on VHS as a direct-to-video series, and later On DVD, Jesse's son is the baby from Sure. Anyway, as a direct-to-video series, and later on DVD and Blu-ray through 2015. The success of the videos led to multiple Sweet Home Alabama. That's a movie starring Reese Witherspoon. Anyway, the success of the videos... Shit. Alright, the success of the videos led to multiple spin-off television series, including VeggieTales on TV, which ran on NBC, Reese Witherspooner, which ran on NBC from 2006 to 2009, two Netflix series, which debuted in 2014 and 17 respectively, Reese's Puffs, eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up, and a series produced by Trinity Broadcasting Network in 2019. Two feature films, and tons of books, music, stage productions. There was even a video game released on the PlayStation 2 and Game Boy Advance. The series is distinguished as the most successful Christian... Reese's Puffs are good, but Nesquik cereal is better. I haven't had either of them. Anyway, the series is distinguished as the most successful Christian children's franchise of all time. It has sold over 16 million books, 17 million music CDs, or 7 million, not 17 million, whoops. Still a lot, though. And, get this, 235 million music. I don't know what it is, but Cocoa Puffs have this bad aftertaste that Nesquik cereal doesn't have. I wouldn't know, I haven't had either. But yeah, and 235 million music streams. Woo! Yeah, big success. Big, big success. So you're probably wondering, also has a bad aftertaste. I have had Cookie Crisps. Dry, though, not with cereal. I don't eat cereal with milk. Anyway. So yeah, VeggieTales was a pretty big success. Or, like, a really big success. Can you confirm the aftertaste? I mean, it has a taste, but I can't really, like, confirm the exact one you're describing. I haven't actually had Cookie Crisps in a while, and truth be told, I don't even know if they're still available. I don't eat cereal with milk, you monster. Just a reminder, I pick up all my food like this. With these fingers. And no, that was not my subtle way of flipping all of you off. Anyway. So yeah, VeggieTales was a pretty big hit. So you're probably wondering, how did it fail? I don't... My God, I don't use a spoon for cereal either. You can spank me later. Anyway. Psychopath, yep. You know, this show would be a lot shorter every night if... Dahmer! VeggieTales was a big breast success. Sure. Anyway, big success if you couldn't tell. So you're probably saying, how did it fall then? Well, okay. So, I'm not going to read, like, everything. What about fruit stories? All my homies love VeggieTales. We don't care about them. Yeah, fruit snacks. To go. Nintendo fruit snacks. Real fruit snacks. Not the fake fake fruit snacks. Say that 5 times fast. Fake fruit snacks. Fake fruit snacks. Fake fruit snack. God. For kids who just want to have kids. Anyway. And yes, I did just smack myself in the face with the might of God. Anyway. has kids. No, I don't. Anyway, and truth be told, I kind of go back and forth whether or not I want to have kids or not, but let's save that for another time. I have a 15-year-old. That's nice. Anyway, let's not get distracted any further. Okay. Phil Vischer, voice of Bob the Tomato. Alright, she wakes me up every morning demanding food. Meow. Anyway, Phil Vischer developed the idea for VeggieTales in the early 1990s while testing animation software as a medium for children's videos. Yes, she is cat. Actually, she's a car. Now, due to the limitations in the soft image 3D software at the time, Vischer opted to avoid the technical production hurdle of designing characters with arms, legs, hair, and clothes. You need help. No, I don't. I need to stay on topic. Anyway, the first animation model for VeggieTales was an anthropomorphic candy bar. You can't eat cereal with your hands. Shut up and watch me. Anyway, further inspiration derived from Phil Vischer's let me try that again. Nigga, that's psychopath behavior. No, it isn't. Nigga. Anyway. I need to watch what I say on this show, because one of these days I'm going to get fucking arrested. Anyway. Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching. Anyway. Further inspiration. I can just tell this is going to take forever. Further inspiration derived from Lisa Vischer's wife, or Phil Vischer's... Did I show you that video clip? If you mean the one of the guy throwing the dog in the lake, then yes. Of the guy saying, beat that nigga. No, you have not shown me that. Now please, can we stay on track? I'm trying to talk funny religious vegetables. Talk about the dog. Okay, so there's a scene in a movie called... God damn it. Called Mr. Nanny, where a guy's on a motorcycle and just, yeah, Mr. Nanny. And in the background, there's just a guy who's like barely clothed, and he throws a dog in the lake, and there's no attention drawn to it whatsoever. Except when it does happen, the fucking song playing in the background. I just want to go fishing in the deep blue sea. And then the dog gets thrown in the lake. Hey, YouTube, I'm talking about a movie. I am not promoting anything. I am talking about a movie. And live! I'm 99% sure that was filmed by accident. 100%. Now let's get back to VeggieTales. Because I haven't even scratched the surface. I am becoming as passionate as Brad Bird in the commentary for The Incredibles. Hulk Hogan is on a motorcycle and something. Yeah. Please, let's get back on track before I actually have an aneurysm. Anyway. Further inspiration, I should mention Mr. Nanny is a so bad it's good film. I'll take your word for it because I don't know where it's available. Anyway, further inspiration derived from Phil Vischer's wife, Lisa, who suggested that parents might prefer a character who promoted healthier eating habits. So Phil scrapped the candy bar and came up with Mr. Cuke, who would later be renamed Larry. So you can start to see the pieces start to come together. I mean, yeah. Anyway, but you can start to see the pieces start to come together. The puzzle's starting to put itself together. Anyway, Vischer then began to design the characters based on fruit and vegetables. While most of the VeggieTales characters, early on, I don't eat fries anymore, but I eat burger. While most of the characters, especially early on, ended up being voiced by Phil Vischer and Mike Naraki, they also cast their friends and family to do voices in the early episodes. Dan Anderson was the voice of Dad Asparagus, and Jim Poole was the voice of Scooter, who collaborated with Vischer on dramas at their local church, were recruited, and the others can't. No, actually, they really can act. They're really good. Stop demeaning this show. It is actually really good. Early on. I'll get to that. I know I'm getting defensive, but please. I know this might be boring, but just please. That's all I ask. Just even if you don't ever watch the show, reminds me of how in Diary of a Wimpy Kid, where they got Rowley's actual IRL mom to dance with it. Well, that actually is a good comparison. I'm not going to argue, that just is a good comparison. It's also like how my mom never agrees to be in any videos with me, but she's just kind of there. Her presence just looms. Anyway, Lisa Vischer also joined the cast as Junior Asparagus, keeping with the great cartoon tradition of little boys being played by grown women. Is she aware she's being filmed? Most of the time, yes. The one time recently I can think of where she hasn't been was Torturing My Mom for 20 Seconds, or whatever it was called. Whatever the title of that one was. Anyway, for the series music, Phil Vischer brought in Kurt Heinecke, who was the music director of his church at the time. The series' early animators included young college graduates, Chris Olsen and Robert Ellis, Momsploitation, alongside Vischer. Alright, now here's where we finally get to the rise and fall. Stay with me now. First offered in the Dadsploitation when? Never. He's way harder to get a hold of. Anyway. Now here's where we finally get to the rise and fall. Stay with me now. First offered in the direct-to-video market, the first release was the 30-minute video, Where's God When I'm Scared, released on December 21st, 1993. It was an unexpected, overnight, runaway success. And not only was it a hit with Christian kids and Christian families, even people who weren't Christian loved it. People realized, let's roll with that. People realized candy is better than vegetables, then the show died. Let's roll with that, only because that's a fitting analogy. Anyway, you don't even know where the story is heading, but that's a fitting analogy. Anyway, it was a runaway, overnight, unexpected smash hit. And not only was it a hit with Christian kids and Christian families, even people who weren't Christian at all loved veggietales. It was well written, it was funny, it was clever, it was quirky, it was fun. Reminds me of Daddy Daycare with the shitty vegetables. Yeah, like Geo. Yeah, Geo, he likes veggietales, and he's not Christian. So that's how you know they really nailed it early on. You'll find out why I keep saying early on. Anyway, Soft Image 3D was used to animate the episodes until 1999 when it was replaced with the new animation soft. I still wonder what that cereal tastes like. Given that it was shitty, probably not good. Anyway, Soft Image 3D continued to be used until 1999 when it was replaced with Maya. Maybe it isn't so bad IRL. Maybe, but we'll likely never know. Anyway, now here's where the downfall comes into play. Buckle up. So, for context, the time frame we're currently at is around 1997, 1998. I mean, Pepsi and milk is a good combination that you wouldn't think it is. Ah! Oh, God! Oh, no, no, no! takes like a... Oh, God, no! No, no, oh. No, that sounds nasty. Anyway, Pepsi and milk. Fuck it, I am forwarding that to my mom tomorrow. I am telling her about Pepsi and milk and how I heard people think it's a good combo. Because you know she is not going to react positively to that. Okay. It was from a show called Laverne and Shirley, which I also haven't seen. Do you think... She might actually know what it is. Do you think that I live in the Criterion Closet? Anyway. Also, my mom has never mentioned Laverne and Shirley, like, ever. For context, she was born in 1980. And when was Laverne and Shirley... let's get back to religionables. My God. Anyway. Is this how it feels to be Deadpool, completely just mentally unstable? Try it. Okay, but if I die, it's on you. If I die, it's on you. It's entirely your fault. Anyway. Alright. Now here's where the... Try it on camera. I can't right now. Do you have Pepsi? Yes, I do. I'm not sure if I have milk. I'm not doing it right now, though. As much as you probably want to see me throw up everywhere. You won't. Dog. Anyway, let's get back on track. Okay. Now we have finally hit the downfall of veggietales. The slow but sure downfall. How did the downfall? Just put 1/3 milk, 2/3 Pepsi. Ratatouille, anyway. Ratatouille is a movie my mom really loves, and I get it. It's a good movie, but I wouldn't know. I don't know if I'd put it as on as high of a pedestal as. No, my mom. Okay. I like Ratatouille. I think it's a great... Yeah, Ratatouille is a great movie, but I'm not sure if I agree with my mom when she says it's the best Disney movie or the best Pixar movie. Milk. Yep, sure. You want to come over for some MILF and cookies? I gave birth in the back of the car. Told Mom I had my first car accident. I think I got rear-ended. I'll have to find that and send it. Nick Mom. Oh, you didn't know that Nickelodeon used to have stand-up comedy bits for moms? You didn't know that? Nick Mom. That was a real thing, by the way. Yes. Nick Mom. That... Chad Tronic did a video about that. You can watch it after the show. Okay, anyway, let's get back to fucking. Anyway. Alright, here's where the downfall of veggietales. Read. I am not going to get this done. What are you doing, step bro? Anyway, let's get back on track, because I am not going to get anything done. Okay, here's where the downfall of veggietales comes in. For context, the year that I'm describing is around 1997, 1998, around that time frame. By this point, veggietales was on top of the world. Well, the Christian world. Oh no, step bro, help. Anyway, back on track. By this point, veggietales was on top of the Christian homeschool, Christian family world. The video sales were really high, toy sales were high, there were even talks for a theme park. Mike Naraki the voice of Larry the Cucumber, wrote a 45-minute script for the story of VeggieTales Dildo. Anyway, Mike Naraki, the voice of Larry the Cucumber, wrote a 45-minute script for what was the story of Noah's Ark. Now, Phil, Mike Nagaki, anyway, he wrote a 45-minute script for the story of Noah's Ark. Now, the Big Idea staff, Phil, Mike, everyone, they really liked it. Problem, though, 45 minutes of animals on a boat. Let me finish. Let me finish. Anyway, Phil, Mike, everyone, they really liked it. Problem, though, this was 1997, 1998. CGI was still a pretty new technology. Animals have fur. Fur, hair, that's kind of tricky. And they were still animating limbless characters. My sister was born in 1997. Happy birthday, anyway. Anyway. In fact, I forgot to mention this, but the first VeggieTales video to feature more complicated characters, I was born tomorrow, Happy Benjamin button. Anyway, the first VeggieTales video to feature limbed characters of any kind was the toy that saved Christmas. Buzzsaw Louie had arms and legs. The penguins had arms and legs. Penguins, that's foreshadowing. Beans. Anyway. Okay, back on track. Back on track. So they scrapped the Noah's Ark script. But they looked for other Bible stories that could work as a longer story. They settled on the story of Jonah. That just reeks of Green Goblin or Mind Goblin energy. Someone did not have the same childhood I did, and it shows. Anyway, back on track. Mind Goblin these nuts, yep. Anyway, I don't know who's more brain rotted, me or you. Anyway, let's get back on track. Now, okay, catching my breath here. Now, the show, I'd laugh if they did Leviticus. They never have. Never have. Anyway, you know the chapter that's anti-gay. Again, they never have. They've never even touched Leviticus. Not even in passing. But they did do something in the final episode of the direct-to-video series. In fact, they did two somethings, but I'll get to that later. Actually, Phil is pretty accepting. But anyway, back on track. Back on track. They settled on the story. Anyway, after scrapping Noah's Ark, they settled on Jonah. Now, they have to figure out water, but whales are not furry. And that's his exact words. Whales are not furry. He is... oh my God. Sure, let's go with that. Anyway, his words, not mine. Whales are not furry. So, yeah. Hang on. Also, that's Phil with one L, not two. Anyway, I didn't know she was... Anyway, but let's get back on track. So anyway, Jonah entered production. As they were working on Jonah, they realized maybe this wants to be a movie script. So what was So what was originally supposed to be a 45-minute video became a full-length feature film for theaters. Now, I came to the realization before prepping myself that the story of Jonah, the movie, and its production could be a live stream all on its own. So I'm just going to quickly summarize everything that went wrong during production. The Christian staff would get into very bad what do? Not much of anything. They've never even been to Boston in the fall. Anyway, I'm just going to quickly summarize everything that went wrong during the production of Jonah, a VeggieTales movie. For starters, the Christian staff working at Big Idea would get into very bad discussions with the not Christian staff. I once asked my friend that question and he replied they saved the day. Well, the movie, anyway. Okay, that means your friend has seen the movie. Anyway. Okay, but, yeah. There were some staffers at... Yeah, he did. Your friend's a cool one. Anyway. Yeah, they had some staff members at Big Idea who weren't necessarily Christian. I haven't seen them in years. That's unfortunate. Anyway, Big Idea had a couple of staff members that weren't Christian. They weren't atheists, I don't think, but they weren't religious either. You think I've seen it? With you, I never know. Anyway, they weren't, like, Satanists, but they weren't, like, uppity Christians. Anyway, the Christian staffers would evangelize into discussions with some of the Christian animators. The Christian animators would get into, yeah, sure, hell Satan. Anyway, the Christian animators would get into very heated discussions with the not Christian staff over Christianity, which would cause the animators to go to therapy. Straight to therapy. Before I tell you the answer, how do you think Phil Vischer attended to that problem? Adultery. Anyway, so yeah, that would cause the animators to go to therapy. How do you think Phil Vischer attended to that problem to keep Jonah's production moving forward? Adultery is bad. Yes, it is, but asking a question. How do you think Phil attended to that problem of the animators going to therapy during production over the heated debates? I just want to see how right on you are. He told them to find Jesus. Nope, he hired more animators. So while the previous animators had fucked right off to therapy, in order to keep Jonah moving along, he hired more animators. Fatal mistake there, it brought the movie over budget. Because the more... Fuck around and find out. Oh, yeah. So while the animators went to therapy, he kept hiring more animators, which would send the budget up here and would skyrocket it over what it was supposed to be. Not only that, okay, this part for context, when I describe this next part, Big Idea's headquarters at the time was located in a closed storefront in a shopping mall. Just remember that detail. Another thing... Oh, wait. Then the old ones came back and looked at the new hires like, who the fuck are these assholes? Oh, wait and see, because they never got a chance to have that happen. Anyway, another thing that went wrong during the production of Jonah... For context, Big Idea at this time was located in a shopping mall. Remember that. During production, they had to run fiber optic cables through the mall. For context, let's say I'm Big Idea. I'm right here. They had to run fiber optic cables through the mall corridors and all the way to Dairy Queen. If you want a good idea about what can go wrong during movie productions, look at The Disaster Artist. Note it. But yeah, they had to run fiber optic cables through the mall, out Big Idea, over to Dairy Queen. I am not making that up. How they didn't set the mall they were in on fire, I have no idea. But that's a fire hazard. Big time. What else went wrong? They had to evacuate the premises 3 or 4 times during production because the fire alarm kept going off. Fire hazards are based. Yeah, what I just said. They had to evacuate the premises 3 or 4 times during production because they kept getting smoked out the place. Not by the fiber optic cables, but by a restaurant that was nearby. So they kept having to evacuate, which would send the movie over budget. Bend over. Anyway. And then, to make matters worse, their shots would get sucked up into the render farm and into an abyss. Larry the Cucumber gave it to you. That's hot. Anyway, to make matters worse, their shots would get sucked up into the render farm into an abyss. Somewhere on the hard drives, but no one knew where. So they'd spend weeks at a time going through the render farm, trying to find their shots in this just technological back rooms, basically. And it got so bad, by the end of it all, it got so bad that in order to get the money for Jonah, to get it released, I spent weeks at a time in your back rooms, Iwi. Anyway, it got so bad that in order to get the money for Jonah, they had to sell their distribution rights. Remember this. Now, their distribution rights at the time were set up with Lyric Studios. Help, I'm in Jesse's basement. I don't have a basement. I actually don't. This is not a two-story house. There's no basement to be found. Anyway, to get the money for Jonah, they had to sell their distribution rights. So, they sold... I do have that, but it's in the backyard. Anyway, what I was trying to say. Jonah is a dick. Funny enough, that is actually the moral of the Bible story and the moral of the movie. Has a dick. Well, yeah, he was a male. Anyway. Now, remember this. They sold their distribution rights in order to get the movie. Specifically, their distribution rights at the time were held by Lyric Studios. They had sold the rights to Warner Bros. In exchange for Jonah money, basically. Jonah, read. Jonah is a dick. Jonah has a dick. Jesse has a dick, because Jesse is a guy. Get dicked. Anyway, back on track. Where I was going with this. Okay, anyway. Back on track. I'm trying not to get distracted, but we're 53 minutes in. Okay, back on track. Here's where it gets bad. Jonah, a VeggieTales movie, was distributed theatrically by Artisan Entertainment. How much money do you think Big Idea made off the movie during its theatrical run? Let's take a wild shot in the dark. Based on all the chaotic $11, not a damn penny. All the money made from Jonah went to the distributor. None of it went to Big Idea. Not a damn dime. It all went to Artisan. So Artisan Entertainment was making all the money off of Jonah, a VeggieTales movie, which left Big Idea with nothing, zilch, nada. And would you believe that's not the worst part of the story? We're just getting there. I'm going to make a movie and pay you in McDonald's. You would. Anyway, that's not even the worst part of the story, by the way. I want chicken nuggets. You now have nuggets. Anyway, that's not even the worst part of the story. Shortly before the release of Jonah, Lyric Studio... Alright, this is where the story gets really juicy, okay? Shortly before the release of Jonah... Do you watch Chicken Nugget? No, I don't. Anyway, please let me stay on topic. Shortly before the release of Jonah, Lyric Studios, their former distributor, was bought by none other than Hit Entertainment. Yep, that Hit. Hit Entertainment. So Hit bought Lyric. Yep, Hit bought Lyric. Now, why is this important? Well, Hit looked over their Lyric's old agreement with Big Idea. In January 2002, In January 2002, Hit Entertainment sued Big Idea, claiming that Big Idea abruptly walked away from a 1997 deal with Lyric Studios, which Hit Entertainment acquired in 2001. I just said, okay, I'm going to repeat that. Alright. Hit Entertainment acquired Lyric Studios in 2001. They sued the original owners. Why? Let me finish. Anyway, in January 2002, Hit Entertainment sued Big Idea, not Lyric, Big Idea, claiming that Big Idea abruptly walked away from a 1997 deal with Lyric Studios, which Hit Entertainment acquired the year before the release of Jonah. Jonah came out in 2002, Hit acquired Lyric in 2001. Didn't Lyric do video releases for Barney? Yes, they did. Anyway, the deal intended that Hit Entertainment would distribute and manufacture VeggieTales videos and merchandise. Here's the kicker. Big Idea, specifically Phil Vischer himself, Barney is my friend, yeah. Here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. Phil Vischer and Big Idea did not have any written contractual agreement with Lyric Studios. It was purely a spoken mutual agreement, but there was no contract. So Hit was basically suing out their ass. Anyway, I'm probably the only watcher of this channel who listened to a live stream while eating s'mores at a campfire with their fam. That's weirdly wholesome. Hit is stupid then. Yeah, clearly. Directing this to you, Spider. I'm not being sarcastic. That's just weirdly wholesome. Anyway, your family can hear. No, they can't, because the doors and windows are shut. And they're all asleep, so, haha, point for me. Anyway, let's get back on track. Having no written... James' family can hear. Oh, whoopsie doodle. The rest of this episode... That's like stupid moment number 2 or 5. The rest of this episode will be done... I back on couch, though. Look, I'm not stupid. Look, I'm not stupid. He's back on the couch. See? I'm not stupid. I may be an idiot, but I'm not stupid. Anyway, having no written contract with either Hit or under an ice blanket. You better not be building up to anything dirty. Silent spot. Anyway, having no written contract with either Lyric or Hit, Big Idea arranged a distribution deal with Warner Bros. Home Video, triggering the suit. Now, who do you... With my pen. Thank you. Now, who do you... On. Thank you. Now, who do you think won the lawsuit? Was it Hit or was it Big Idea? Who do you think won? Can be off if you want. It was me. Okay, serious answer. Hit Entertainment won. In April 2003, a jury in Texas ruled that Big Idea must pay $11 million to Hit. A decision which was later overturned in 2005, but by then the damage was already done. Hit is a B. Hit won, obviously, didn't need to tell me twice. Yeah. Phil Vischer lost all control of Big Idea and VeggieTales, and they were forced to go into Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Alright, we're going to take a brief break to do the funny image. I mean, when you're a big company... Wait for you to finish. You obviously can sue anyone. Yep. Discord, okay. Oh, we have a video to watch. I'll play the video in a minute, don't worry, but... I'm getting the funny image ready. Anyway, Chapter 11 bankruptcy means they have the potential of coming back in the future. And guess what? They did. Soon after. Anyway, here's what happened. Big Idea's assets... Oh yeah, here's the funny image. Did they get VeggieTales back? I was getting to that. By the way, girls during puberty. Ugh, I hate everything. Boys during puberty. Glue! Anyway. I was getting to that, though. Big Idea, their assets were put up for auction that same year, 2004. And their assets were acquired by Classic Media. Classic Media, for those who don't know, is the company that owns the Rankin Bass Christmas specials, and He-Man, and Postman Pat, and Roy the Racing Car. They own a lot. Anyway, oh no way, yes way, Classic Media bought, well, Rankin Bass didn't, but Classic Media, their parent, bought Big Idea. Now, Phil did not get control back. Rankin Bass is special. Yeah. Okay. Now, Phil... Hey, would you believe I have not seen most of those specials start to finish? Anyway. Now, Phil did not gain control back. He was not able... Watch them, you doofus. Someday... Anyway... Now, Phil, they're on YouTube for free. I will remember that. I love Rankin Bass. I will remember that. Anyway, now Phil Vischer, sadly, was not able to regain his position of CEO. Well, anyway. But the good news is that Big Idea came back and VeggieTales was back. With some changes. For starter, in fact, the biggest change with VeggieTales at the time... Alright, it's a lot for me to read here. Rudolph and Frosty are the best. Give us Frosty! Christmas with the Cranks. Well, most of them. Rudolph's Shiny New Year was a fever dream. Santa Claus is underrated. I do not recall Rudolph... That just sounds made up. That just sounds made up. Rudolph's Shiny New Year. That doesn't even sound real. Anyway, let's get back on track. But there's 2 Rudolph sequels. I will remember that. Anyway, let's get back on track here. Okay? But Phil Vischer would return, but he would not retain his CEO position. Instead, he would simply stay to voice his characters and to write just one new script a year. In fact, the most major change, other than no longer being independent, was that Big Idea... Okay, I didn't know that, actually. Rudolph's Shiny New Year and Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July. Yes, there was a crossover. Anyway, the biggest change at this time, other than not being independent anymore, was that Big Idea would now outsource its animation to other studios. So they wouldn't do the animation side in-house. Red Skeleton was in the former. Anyway. Now, I'm not going to recap, like, the next couple years in full, so I'll give a general rundown, though. Under Classic Media, alright, so this would be years 2004 to 2009, so 5 years, but I'll make it quick. 2004, not much of anything really changed, other than new owners and the animation being outsourced, and Phil not being as involved. He would still be voicing, still be writing, but he was very hands-off. Anyway, Despite this, though, the quality of VeggieTales did not immediately drop off. As a matter of fact, the early classic media episodes were still very in line with the independent stuff. Sure, there were a couple oddities here and there, but it was pretty consistent in terms of quality. And it would stay that way for a couple more years. But then around 2008, 2009, I'd say, is when VeggieTales went corporate. Oh yeah, I said the worst word. Nope, it didn't die yet. We're getting there, though. It didn't die yet, though. 2008, 2009 was when I'd say it went corporate. And I blame it on one movie. Prepare to will. I blame it on one movie. The Pirates Who Don't Do Anything, a VeggieTales movie. It was the second film in the franchise, the second theatrical film following Jonah, but it was not a sequel. Although both films star the pirates, it is not connected. Is it a bad movie? If you ask Microwave Society, yes. If you ask me, it's okay. It's very nostalgic to me, but I wouldn't call it great. But I also wouldn't call it bad. Entertaining, but not great. Anyway, an interesting factoid about the Pirates Who Don't Do Anything. It is the only VeggieTales media. Everything is okay to you anyway, so that's fair. Not true. Not true. I watched The Curious Case of Benjamin Button earlier, and I think it's great. Not okay. Great. Anyway, now, here's an interesting tidbit about the Pirates movie. It is the only piece of VeggieTales media, not counting the TV edits and not counting video games, that does not explicitly mention God or biblical morals. However, several scenes do mention parallel scripture, such as characters not knowing when the king will return. So while God and biblical values are not explicitly shown, there are parallels. Anyway, the film was released by Universal Pictures. Good, a godless movie. Benjamin Butler. I said Benjamin Button, get it right. Anyway, the film was released by Universal Pictures on January 11th, 2011. Or 2008, not 2011. 2008. The film had a budget of $15 million and was an even bigger bomb than Jonah. The Pirates Who Don't Do Anything, $15 million, ka-ching. We love the Cat in the Hat in this house. Anyway, The Pirates Who Don't Do Anything had a budget of $15 million. It made $13.2 million at the box office. It was a bomb. A big bomb. The film received mixed reviews from critics who criticized the script and lack of biblical morals, but praised the animation. And I do agree, the animation is pretty good. The film was a box office bomb, grossing only $13 million worldwide on a $15 million budget. We've got to have money. Chicking. Anyway. So yeah, it was a failure. And because of the failure of the Pirates movie, you'll notice that 2008, 2009, and so on, Phil Vischer and Mike Nura, I love that movie, I don't care what anyone says. If you're referring to Cat in the Hat, same. Anyway, Tom and Jerry, okay, never mind. I haven't seen Tom and Jerry, the movie, so I can't say anything about it, but I haven't seen it. But anyway, it's because of the failure of the Pirates movie that you'll notice both Phil Vischer and Mike Naraki both became much less involved. So what went to like, what was like one script a year from Phil, that's where I got to have money comes from, okay, noted. So what went from one script a year from Phil went to like one every couple of years. Basically, they only stayed on as voice actors. And basically, to keep the next couple years brief, they went from doing Bible stories to movie parodies, which they did do in the past, but now they were doing them more often. Then they went to shit. The movie parodies started to feel less like parodies and more like just watered down retellings. It's a Meaningful Life was basically just It's a Wonderful Life, pretty much copy-paste, just with God shoved in there. And not even in a good way. Not even subtle. Copy pasta, genuinely. 'Twas the Night Before Easter was basically just a copy-paste of the earlier episode, The Star of Christmas, which I consider the best episode. I'm not kidding, I love it. It's great. It's my favorite, and it's the best one, in my opinion. Anyway, but the episodes started to feel JJ the Jet Plane edition. Maybe not that bad, but still pretty bad. Anyway, but the episode quality, well, the animation quality wasn't bad, but the writing was just corny and cheap. It was very clear VeggieTales was becoming that kind of show. The kind, you farted, I did earlier. Anyway, it was very clear VeggieTales was becoming that kind of show. The kind of, we need to get this out in Q4, fart on camera. I can't fart on command. Though I'd swear you have a fart fetish. Anyway, it was very clear that by this point, VeggieTales had become kind of a, we need to get this out in the fourth quarter kind of show. If you've seen WALL-E, it was basically if By and Large made WALL-E. I do this ironically. Okay. But yeah, if you could, basically, from what I'm describing, if I could describe it best, if you've seen WALL-E, it's like if By and Large made VeggieTales. That's the later era. I actually hate farts with a passion. Noted. But yeah, if By and Large made a Christian kids show, WALL-E Tales, sure, let's go with that. I'm making a serious analogy, but that works. Anyway, but yeah, it's very much like if B&L made a Christian show. Just a very bland and corporate product. Fruit Stories or VeggieTales. VeggieTales any day of the week. Anyway, okay. Over the years, it would get just more and more bland. Not even bad per se, just bland. In fact, the only VeggieTales episode from this era, for context, this era would be 2008 to 2011. Anyway, the only episode from this era that I'd actually call truly bad is Sweet Pea Beauty. But if you want to know why that one is so bad, you can go ask Gio. He can tell you why it's so bad. Anyway, but where I was going with this, something happened. In 2012, Classic Media, Eat Vegetables Now. Okay, in 2012, Classic Media was purchased by none other than DreamWorks Animation. You know, Shrek, How to Train Your Dragon, Kung Fu Panda, that DreamWorks. They bought Classic Media. Yep, DreamWorks. DreamWorks bought Classic Media, and in turn, they bought Big Idea. Because Big Idea was still owned by Classic Media. So when DreamWorks bought, yep, DreamWorks owns Rudolph. Actually, it's a Russian nesting doll. So Universal, NBC Universal owns DreamWorks. And then DreamWorks owns Classic Media. Russian nesting doll. Anyway, let's get back on track. But DreamWorks bought Classic Media. And in turn, they bought Big Idea. In 2013, I never knew Universal owned DreamWorks. They bought them in 2016, so it's been a couple of years. Anyway, though, Anyway, at this point, DreamWorks began to oversee the production of all VeggieTales productions. In 2014, that's nice, in 2014, a Netflix original series was launched titled VeggieTales in the House. If you want further explanation as to why that one is universally hated, look no further than the final video in the direct-to-video series, Noah's Ark. Yep, they went back and did Noah's Ark after ditching it a decade prior. 2 decades prior, actually. Yeah, this was the final episode of the direct-to-video series. Read. Jesus loves VeggieTales in the house. Anyway, this was the final episode of the original series. So, why? Well, we've now adopted the Netflix designs. So the designs of the characters that were used in the Netflix show now got carried over to the main show. I adopted you, that's nice. As I said, this was the final episode of the original straight-to-video series. Fun fact, this episode ends with a sex joke. I'm not making that up. I am not making that up. This episode ends with a sex joke. If you want the context, they arrive in the new world, ready to restart civilization, and, okay, Madam Blueberry says, "You kids go forth and multiply." Wayne Brady's character, oh yeah, Wayne Brady was a guest star, Wayne Brady's character says, "What does multiply mean?" And the other girl says, "I'll tell you what that means later." Yep, a sex joke. Oh, don't worry, it gets even better. Almost every episode of VeggieTales, not every, but almost every episode, that shit just writes itself. Oh, it gets better, trust me. This same episode, then ends with Bob and Larry giving you a Bible verse. Genesis 6 through 9. They say, if you want to learn more about Noah, go check out Genesis 6 through 9. Check it out, kids. Fun fact, Genesis 6 through 9 is when Noah. Genesis 6 through 9 is when Noah gets drunk and naked in his garden. Drunk and naked in his garden. This episode ends with a sex joke and telling you to read about Noah getting drunk and naked. Honestly, the fact this was the final episode, oh my god. The fact this was the final episode of the show, and they went that fucking nuts. That's amazing. But anyway, this was the final episode of the original show. And after this, VeggieTales was basically, they went out with a bang. Hang on. Literally go out with a bang. The Vegetable Garden, 69, nice. Anyway, this episode is fucking terrible, thank you for asking. It's not good. It's not a good conclusion. But ending it with very risky jokes like that, that's amazing. Anyway, after that, VeggieTales was basically, it sounds hilarious. It's the ultimate reward for sitting through 48 minutes of hot garbage. Seriously, this episode is bad. But if you want to know why it's so bad, you can go ask Gio. He can tell you all about why this one is so bad. Anyway, after this came VeggieTales, who's G? A Mexican. Anyway, after this, DreamWorks did VeggieTales in the City, once again for Netflix. And then that was basically the end. I thought he was he who shall not be named. Anyway, and then that was basically it. Until 2019, when Universal said, we're getting the gang back together. The VeggieTales show premiered on TBN in 2019. On the previous incarnation of this show, which does not... Anyway. This is quite the exercise. After being dead for a few years, VeggieTales made its return. TBN and Universal revived VeggieTales. Read. We're getting the gangbang back together. Anyway, TBN revived VeggieTales. And notice we're not using the Netflix designs. Yep, they regressed back to the original designs. So this special premiered during the Christmas season. Back and better than ever. Don't get your hopes up. Do not. Do not get your hopes up. It don't last. You know why it doesn't last? We finally hit, fun fact, in Stephen King's It, the Losers Club gets in a gangbang in order to stop Pennywise. I did not need to know that. Anyway. Okay, so, never seen it. Anyway. Then, in 2021, the original or never read it. Anyway, then, okay, let's get back to you. Directing this to you, Sylv. VeggieTales is back and better than ever. Don't get your hopes up. On June 29th, 2021, we've now hit present day. On June 29th, 2021, Phil Vischer stated in a series of tweets on his Twitter account that he, his wife, Lisa Vischer, Mike Naraki, and Kurt Heineke had all been fired from Big Idea, who had intended to recast them with new voice actors for their respective characters. He also stated that Naraki and Heineke had been let go from the series several years beforehand and had strictly been relegated to solely freelance work. What specifically happened was that they asked Universal and DreamWorks for a bigger role in the franchise following their involvement with the VeggieTales show, and they refused. Yeah, Big Idea, the company that Phil literally founded, they refused. So what happened? They were fired. They didn't just fire Phil Vischer, they fired Phil, Mike, Lisa, and Kurt. All four of them. Oh yeah, that's actually bullshit. And then after they... Oh, no, it gets even better. After they were laid off, they shut down Big Idea completely. So now, Big Idea doesn't even exist as an active company. Big Idea currently only exists as an in-name only unit of DreamWorks Animation. So basically they don't exist. It's just DreamWorks now. So is the show... Basically they stole it. They basically did. To make matters worse, so yes, DreamWorks can do whatever they want now. In fact, two things that happened after they were fired, first of which, a new podcast series launched, a new podcast series was launched with Phil and Mike replaced as Bob and Larry. We don't know who the new voice actors are, but they were replaced for this new podcast. And the second thing that happened, which is way more major and a way bigger deal, A new VeggieTales feature film, Larry Boy, will release in 2026. So DreamWorks is making a movie without them. Oh boy. Oh, and to make it even better, Phil didn't even know that the Larry Boy movie was happening until he saw it on Twitter. He didn't know. I think Phil will try to sue. I think he should, but I think he's also moved on. If you're wondering how this story ends, he just recently announced a new if he tries, I hope he wins. Again, I do think he should try to take some kind of action, but I don't think he will, sadly, because not long ago, he actually announced a new show titled The Phil and Mike Show. He should. That's his creation. I agree, so he has every right to do it. But again, recently he announced a new show called The Phil and Mike Show, with no involvement from DreamWorks, Big Idea, Universal, TBN, Yippee, nothing. And that's where the story ends. There, after an hour and 26 minutes with interruptions, is the rise and fall. Oh my god. See, I told you this would be interesting. I told you. The story ends for now. Yep. I told you. I told you this wouldn't be totally boring. I wish it was a story I was actually more interested than I thought I'd be. Yeah. Pleasant surprise. Patience is a virtue. I don't mean that to sound insulting, by the way. Just patience is a virtue. So yeah. Who knew behind the scenes of a Christian show would be so fascinating? Yeah. It is fascinating. I wish this was a story with a happy ending, but it's a story with an ending. Hopefully an ending that can at least have a happy ending. If he doesn't get his creation back, can a movie be so good it's bad? I need time to think about that. That was really random, but I'll need time to think about that. I can't think of any off the top of my head, because I just spent a lot of time talking, but I'll need time to think. For now, though, I want to end the episode with this. Oh, wait. What if it's so good it's overrated? Sorry, I'm not talking much. I just don't want to interrupt. That's okay. I completely respect. Although, I wouldn't be too upset. I mean, I'm not saying like I'd want you to interrupt everything, but I wouldn't be too upset, too annoyed. Anyway, the only thing that like gets me overwhelmed is when you're both talking at the same time. That's what's overwhelming. Anyway, I don't hate it, but it can get overwhelming. But I'm not going to ask one of you to leave, is what I'm saying. Anyway, let's get back on track. But yeah, I do hope one day, even if it's many years from now, that this story can have a good ending. Even if it's not a happy, like, to the fullest ending, I hope at least, it ends with him getting his creations back, even if it doesn't mean a new show. Okay, on a lighter note, I had a package come today. I now own a copy of Frankenweenie. This has nothing to do with VeggieTales, but came in the mail this morning. My collection grows more and more each and every day. This is an underrated movie. Discord, by the way. Okay. I don't see any. Oh. Never mind. The video sent earlier. I'll watch that 1 second. But yeah. I know it's already 12:30, but if you want me to unbox this tonight, I will. Frankenweenie is what my D looks like after I am not touching that. Okay. Touch it. Tickle, tickle. Anyways. Anyway. I retract that. There, it's retracted. Anyway. Let's get back on track. But yeah, even though it's already 12:31 a.m., if you want me to unbox this tonight, I will. If you want me to save it to tomorrow, I will. It's late. This is probably the rare instance where a topic has taken up most of the episode. So yeah. So this is do a Go Animate style ramp. I know that wasn't anything. I just I wasn't refusing to. I don't know what that was. It just like shut down. Oh my god. It's late. It's 12. It is after midnight. Oh, I guess because this is the 50th... Oh, wait. VeggieTales? More like Fruit Stories. Oh my god, this show sucks. It's ripping off Dora. Okay, I guess... before we... That's a Go Animate style... Yeah, and whatever I just did, I don't even know what it was. Anyway... I don't even know what I was going for. I'm pretty sure my soul left my body. You did your Anyway, I kind of forgot that this is the 50th episode, so what would you call a standout staring into the camera blankly deep sea creep? You know what? When the archive of this goes up tomorrow, I want one of you to take the still frame of that and just put over top deep sea creature. Anyway. Back to where I was going. But I guess because this is the 50th episode, I'm legally, aka Twilight. I've never watched those and I never will. Anyway. Before I wrap this up, because this is the 50th episode, what would you call a standout moment of the show? And what would you call, like, what would you say is your favorite episode so far? Can't believe we're already halfway to 100. Talk briefly about JJ. Oh god. I guess we'll use this as a cliffhanger. I don't know. Okay, I can't really go on about JJ the Jet Plane for too long, but my favorite... Yeah, that's probably my favorite so far as well. Just because of how out of control it was. Probably the most out of control this show has ever been. Anyway, but... When you knocked... Yeah. Not just that, but just how out of control... Like... I talked about the topic, but it also just went so far out in left field in all the right ways. Anyway. Okay, but... JJ, I was getting there. JJ the Jet Plane. I can't really talk about it in great detail, because it's getting late. So, instead... I'm going to turn this into useless factoid about JJ. Trilogy Animation Group, which was one of the production companies involved with the most recent... Oh wait, I'm going to be real. I was actually about to mention that. Yeah, the new JJ looks way better, which, fun fact, I'm too lazy to find it, but veggietales was actually cited as a design inspiration for the new JJ in its concept art. I hated the original. A lot of kids did too. But yeah, I'm too lazy to find it. But if you can find the concept art for the new JJ, they actually do cite veggietales as a design inspiration. So if you didn't know that, now you know. People have nostalgia for it. How? Other than being a... Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. I genuinely don't. I'm not even joking. But yeah, there's. Oh wait, how many of you remember that it started with models? I never grew up with that. Like, that was not airing when I was a kid, but I do recall eventually discovering those episodes. And you know, it's funny. It's funny. I think the model and CGI episodes of JJ the Jet Plane are unsettling for different reasons. The CGI series for JJ is unsettling for all the reasons. The model series of JJ is a bit more bearable, but it also just has that eerie, homemade kind of look to it that is very uneasy. I never seen the model version until Name Withheld showed it to me. It's always him. But yeah, the model episodes of JJ the Jet Plane are very unsettling because they just have that, like, very rough and ready look. It's like they put effort into the models and of the characters and very little else. Anyway, so we have a video on Discord. The new JJ looks cute. Yeah. And I do hope that that new series comes out someday. Even if it's locked behind a streaming service I don't want. Anyway, let's watch Foxy playing pool. Okay, never mind. More like Foxy getting whacked in the face with a pool ball set to heavenly music. That was not where I was expecting that to go. We got 22 more minutes here. Maybe not 22, but we got a few more minutes. Show it. Okay. That is not where I was expecting that to go. I don't know where I thought that was heading, but that wasn't it. Okay, it's getting a little hot and sweaty in here, so... Just a quick snippet of the current episode I'm filming. That's nice. Talk about the religion dub quick. Okay. So, there are actually, if you want to watch the creepy, disgusting CGI episodes of JJ the Jet Plane, which will also feature Spike, excited. Anyway, if you want to watch the creepy, disgusting CGI episodes of JJ the Jet Plane, there's actually two versions of most of them. there's the quote-unquote normal versions, which aired on TV and elsewhere, and I think are still floating around today. And then there's the Christian dub, which was only ever distributed via Christian bookstores and Christian video stores, and is also streaming on Yippee and PureFlix. So, the episodes don't differ that much. The only difference, like, they're the same episodes, regardless. The only difference is the Christian dub, of course, shoehorns in God in a less than subtle way. In that you can tell, yeah, except the endings. Pretty much the episodes are, for the most part, untouched. But then the endings always have to shoehorn in a Bible verse. In some rare instances, you might get some dialogue in the middle of the episode. But for the most part, it's pretty much just the same show, but randomly religious. So really, it doesn't matter which you watch, they're both disgusting. What does it say? I learned this, just like God did. God loves everyone. Legit, that's exactly what it is. Let's put all of these back where they belong. It is, but always remember, eat your cereal. Wait, let's just say. Yeah, there's the outro. Okay, let's put these back on the shelf. There we go. Okay. And most importantly, have a day. Okay. Yep, the nose. Perfect way to translate that shot into emojis. Something that I, until right now, didn't think was possible. Okay. Now. Oh. Okay, go ahead. Ask away. How did you come up with the nose thing? It's a great question. Okay. You're probably expecting there to be like some funnier, deeper backstory. Hang on 1 second. My fingies were a little dirty. Anyway, you're probably expecting there to be some deeper backstory to that. Not really. As a matter of fact, I actually really don't recall where it came from. Because I've done like I've probably done more TikToks than I have YouTube videos, if I'm being completely honest, but I don't really recall where it came from exactly. I think just one day, as far as I'm aware, just one day I did it and it just stuck. But again, I can't really like clearly remember like the origins of it. Like the exact like this video, this year, this day. I'm sure it'll come to me later, but there's the anticlimactic answer. I always used... Oh, wait. I used to always think you used the same Have a Day clip until I watched this. That's a pretty logical assumption, actually, because my delivery every single time is so deadpan and just dry. But what quickly debunks that is the fact that my clothes are consistent with whatever clothes I'm wearing at the current time from the same angle. Yeah. But again, if you actually look at like my clothes or whatever's on the floor, then it's not the same clip. But I don't blame you though for thinking it was. Tonight's episode is brought to you by and Large. When is that going to return? I actually do not know. Like, okay, believe it or not, even though there is kind of lore in my videos, both TikTok and YouTube, most of that lore went... Don't jinx it. I know you're saying that to be funny, but don't jinx it, like, actually. The last thing I want on my Burger King burger is somebody's foot fungus. Okay, anyway, for real though. It will happen again. Okay, before it gets too late, like, too late, I guess, again, before it gets too late, we'll wrap the episode up. Alright, next time, scary movie. I'll leave it up to a poll. I'm not saying I don't want to talk about scary movie, not at all, but I'll leave it up to a poll. The poll will go up after this stream is finished. Whichever one shows the most interest is the one I'll end up doing, on the condition that the other will still happen at a later date. Anyway, even though it's getting a little late, I guess I'll do an unboxing of this Blu-ray just to wrap up the show for tonight. Just to get it out the way. And so it doesn't become another Crisis on Infinite Earths where I sit on it for over a week. Those quiet moments in life. Okay. See if I missed anything. Nah, do the outro, it's almost one. Okay. I'm stupid, because I just got the setup ready, but fair enough, it is almost one. I thought it would have been nice to, get it out the way, but if you want me to wait till tomorrow, no worries. So anyway, let me make myself look like a dummy by fixing the setup, because now I'm doing the unboxing tomorrow. So, whoops. This will only take a minute again. Those quiet, stupid little moments in life. But granted, calling my audience stupid would be rude. Instead, I'm going to direct the stupidity to myself. Because to call others stupid would be disrespectful. Unless, of course, the individuals actually are stupid. Luckily for me, though, nobody who tunes into this show is stupid. The only people who I truly believe are stupid are politicians. What does it say? Call me stupid. You are now stupid. Okay. Okay, so I guess last minute change of plans. I was going to go ahead and do it tonight just to get it out the way, but okay. Anyway, I was going to go ahead and unbox this tonight just to get it out the way and so I'm not sitting on it forever, but we'll do it tomorrow just to save time. Plus, I mean, we've already been going on for an hour and 51 minutes. Yeah, I think this is a good place to cap off for tonight. But before I go, once again, I'm going to put up a poll after the stream to select the topic for tomorrow night's episode. Whichever topic gets the most interest is the one I'll end up doing, on the condition that the other topic will still happen at a later to-be-determined date. But for now, I guess that's it for now. So, happy 50 episodes to Wonder After Dark. Here's to 50 more episodes, because I can already tell you episode 100 is gonna be actually insane. But for now... Oh, by the way, tonight's episode brought to you by and Large. Anyway, for now, here's to 5,000. I don't know if I can take that. Oh no, that's 50,000. I don't know if I can take 50,000, but for now, that's all the time we have for tonight. But always remember, eat your cereal, go to bed, to be continued. God made you special and he loves you very much. You can take me. Okay. Good night, and have a day.